One afternoon in 1890, Clarissa was sipping tea at a garden party when suddenly a dog came running out of the bushes and tripped her. She fell flat on her back and screamed. Everyone rushed her inside quickly because Clarissa was heavily pregnant. An hour later, she gave birth to an adorable little girl, and that was me. Hi, I'm Agatha Christie, and this is my extraordinary story. Growing up, Mom and Dad spoiled me rotten because I was the youngest. But they were so overprotective, they wouldn't even let me go play in the park. You'll get
She was the
lost,
youngest,
sweetums. But I want to see the ducks by the pond. Nasty ducks can bite your tiny fingers. Best to stay by our side. But there were no schools or kids my age in the neighborhood, and my parents wouldn't teach me how to read. You'll hurt your eyes, love. We'll teach you when you're a little older. Like when I'm 5? How about 8? I hated waiting. So I began teaching myself. I started reading when I was 4, and by the time I was 8, I had finished Alice in Wonderland. And I loved telling stories just as much. I didn't have any real friends, but my imaginary ones heard many of the tales I made up. I even had a poem published in the local newspaper when I was just 11. Life was good, but then everything suddenly changed. Dad fell ill and passed away, and a year later, my sister got married and my brother moved overseas. It was just me and my mom in our big house, and money was running out. I eventually wanted to get a job, but Mom refused. You're a lady, Agatha. We don't take jobs. We get husbands who provide for us. I'm 15,
What the hell?
and waiting for a husband sounds stupid. You're a gentleman's daughter, love, and you can only make money by marrying well. Mom sent me off to boarding school in Paris to learn music, and I thought this was my chance to make money by becoming a professional opera singer or a pianist. But after 2 years, I gave up that goal because it was quite obvious I just didn't have the talent. I went back to find Mom looking weak, and it broke my heart that her life wasn't as good as before. One day we were out for a walk when we passed an antique shop, and Mom stopped to admire a beautiful pearl brooch. Should we ask the price, Mom? Sweetheart, I already know we can't afford it. Come, let's go. We'll be able to one day, I promise. I'm gonna get you that brooch. Soon after I turned 18, I came down with influenza, and the doctor strictly told me to stay in bed. Feeling bored and restless, I started writing again. Agatha, these stories are brilliant. You should get these published. I thought you didn't approve of working women. I didn't know you could write this well. You have a real talent. But every story got rejected, and I felt so frustrated. And Mom was still obsessed with getting me married. I agreed to go to a dance just to make her happy. I thought I looked cute till I got there. Every girl was dressed like royalty. Just then, a snobbish-looking girl walked up to me. You, servant girl, why have you arrived so late? Go to the kitchen now and get more drinks for my friends. Excuse me? Get them yourself. How dare you speak to me like that? I'm Celeste Clearwater. Is that supposed to mean something to me? I'm Agatha Miller, and it was not a pleasure to meet you. Before she could reply, all the girls around us gasped and rushed towards the entrance, and Celeste followed. They were all drooling over a man in uniform who'd just arrived, and well, I couldn't blame them. Oh my goodness, Archie is handsomer than ever. Isn't he dashing? I heard he flies planes with his eyes closed. And he's not very good at it. Everyone turned to stare at me, including Archie. I was burning red with embarrassment, but he actually smiled. He walked past Celeste and came straight towards me. You're absolutely right. Now, let me guess your profession. Writer? I'm trying to be one. How did you know? You have ink stains on your fingers. No need to be embarrassed. You're the first interesting person I've met at this dull party. So, tell me all about your writing. Over the next few weeks, Archie swept me off my feet. He was funny and charming, and he supported my passion. And 3 months later, we were engaged. But soon after, World War I broke out all over Europe, and Archie was called to the front. I was a nervous wreck worrying about him, and I decided I had to keep myself busy. So I joined the Red Cross. Caring for injured soldiers made me feel useful, and even helped inspire ideas for writing. One Belgian officer in particular caught my attention. He had a head shaped like an egg and a magnificent walrus mustache. I could just picture him being the perfect detective in my stories, solving the hardest crimes. One day, I was carrying a pile of supplies when I accidentally spilled some water. A nurse came in at that moment, and before I could warn her, she slipped and fell hard on her butt. It was Celeste. You did that on purpose. It was obviously an accident. And what are you doing here anyway? Won't working with the poor ruin your nails? And let you grab all the cute single officers? I don't think so. I'm engaged. Yes, I read about it in the papers. Trust me, it's not gonna last. Archie will come to his senses soon. Celeste, I believe you're suffering from jealousy, and I have just the cure for it. 20 cc's of penicillin in your butt. But Celeste was determined to make my life miserable. She spent all her time trying to get me fired instead of doing her actual job. She even started a nasty rumor about me. Agatha has a dirty past. She went to France when she was 15 because she got pregnant by some chimney sweep. So shameful. That's a dirty lie. I went to boarding school. And who will people believe? Me or a poor girl like you? Does Archie know about your past? I don't think he'll care anyway. I bet he's already found some beautiful European heiress. And he won't be coming back to you. You know what? Let's write to him and find out. I'll write to him right now. Dear Archie. No, that's too dry. My shining North Star. Though I indubitably trust you, a girl who claims to care for me deeply has warned me of your feckless heart. Although the girl in question is of limited intelligence, they do say mad, crazy lunatics can say some wise, deep things. What do you think, Celeste? Too flowery? But Celeste looked crazy with jealousy. She charged at me, but the head nurse came in just then and caught her red-handed. Celeste was fired for her outburst and all the mistakes she'd made at work. But her words made me worry even more. I hadn't heard from Archie in weeks, and checking the casualty lists was driving me insane. One foggy night, I was walking back home from work when I suddenly felt like I was being followed. Just as I was about to make a run for it, the figure caught me by my wrist, and
The future of blasters is